been kissed by the rose on my dick. I've been kissed by a rose by a guy who lives in the Shell station. Corporate knows he's been washing himself in the sink. But, you know, he doesn't do drugs on the job, so he's a good guy. I'm Seal, and this is my demo tape from the 90s. I'm kissed by a rose on the sink. I wash my ball sack in the sink. I'm the guy who shows up when someone ODs. They said they were pretty good in their interview, and he looked like a solid guy, but uh-oh, heroin. Oh, here comes the ambulance again. Looks like someone got stabbed on the way to the Citgo. What sort of place were we working at already? Was it a Citgo? Was it a Bojangles?
Bojangles.
I've been kissed by a rose at Bojangles.
You know, they just opened up a second one in PA.
They did?
Yeah,
there was one in Reading, right?
Yeah, they opened up one in Quakertown.
Quakertown, eh? That doesn't... So, okay. Bojangles, I always thought of Bojangles as like the counterpart to Popeyes.
Isn't that what it is?
Bojangles is Popeyes?
No. Sorry, I thought were comparing the two to each other.
I am comparing the two to each
Yeah,
other.
I think they're supposed to be cornering the same market roughly.
Chicken.
I went
Louisiana
to
chicken.
Bojangles and busted in the bathroom, but then I got horny again, so I had to go to Popeyes and bust.
Number 14, Popeyes bust.
Popeyes bust. Popeyes. They don't have milkshakes there, do they? No, it's just fountain
Popeyes?
drink.
Oh,
No.
I don't know if I trust a milkshake from Popeyes.
I wouldn't. I don't trust most things from Popeyes, but that's beside the point.
I remember I had like Popeyes once
Me laughing.
at 5 Point, the Montgomeryville Mall. I think I had maybe there was a Popeyes there. I got something at the Popeyes, but I was already sick. Like it was that moment where you know you're getting sick and you bargain. You
want to
bargain.
deny it too?
Yeah. No,
I'm not getting sick.
I'm not getting sick. My throat's just sore.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
I'll be okay.
I'll go home, drink some water, go to bed, and be all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my history at Popeyes is going there, denying that I'm sick, and then waking up and getting sick the next day. I think I had to work the next day too. I can't remember if I called off or not. I think I just canceled my morning classes and came back and taught the night classes.
Mm.
That was when I was working at a freaking ITT Tech.
Oh.
Ooh is right.
I remember that company.
Yeah. Obama shut them down, and
Did he?
rightfully so.
Is that what happened to them, Lance? How did you manage that?
What do you mean?
What happened?
It got warm.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, why did it fizz up and blood everywhere? You'd have the perfect response that I would expect you to have, though, which is just to shove it in your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Costanza says 2023, year of the Brown. Death Mammoth says you guys rock. I have a 2001 Toyota 4Runner, and I'm happy to see more third gens. Yes, eventually, I got some footage of Susie, which is the name of my 4Runner, in the snow. With the snow falling, I had some establishing shots of the snow falling. I backed Susie onto the grass at the end of the parking lot where we film. Got some nice footage of that. Gray background, silent, everything nice. Still have to get like on the road shots of her.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually the review will come out for RCR's 4Runner. But it's weird, like, how you're going to film the car if that's the film car.
Right.
Like, the Nairo, I guess, would have to film it, but...
It would be a good film car.
I mean, any car can film the car from the rear. You just put the tri-gripper in the front of the windshields. But as far as filming out the back and filming the front of the car, that's where you need like a solid hatch.
Right.
And you can't film through the back hatch of the Nairo because you have a raked roof, a very small window.
Yes.
The window doesn't go down.
Defrost lines.
Defrost lines, you have a problem. You're going to have to film, as we found, if you have defrost lines, you really shouldn't film anything smaller than an aperture smaller than f-stop 7. So
so at like 7 or more open from 7, they're not very visible.
right, like all the early RCRs were filmed through the back glass of either a Honda Fit
Right.
or a second-gen Subaru Forester.
Yeah, and
you could sometimes see a little bit distortion, but the challenge with that is now your depth of focus is shallower than the car is long.
Right.
So you have to decide what part of the car is going to be in focus, and sometimes you're going to have to decide whether you want the car in focus or the badge in focus in front of it.
Yeah.
And that's difficult to find out where that is and focus manually
Right.
while bouncing around in the back of a car.
Right.
And looking at this tiny screen and not getting car
And
sick.
opening the hatch of the Nairo and sitting in the back of it, I'd assume, is far too illegal to pull off around here.
Yeah. Even driving around with the back hatch open. See, I don't want any people to stare at us.
Right.
You don't want frequent flyers of 911
Right.
to just see, there's someone driving down the car. He's taking pictures of everybody. I think he's a gang member. They're just scoping everybody out and looking at people, and then make up a story, and then the PSP has to, they get a call and they have to go check it out, and how am I going to explain this? Whereas in the 4Runner, you can just lower the back glass, and even the person inside of it, when Nick is filming out the back or I'm filming out the back, you're still sort of in shadows in there inside the car a little bit.
Yeah. I've done that with a 4Runner. I did that. I went to a big Subaru show
Yeah?
in Southern California years ago. Why is my phone actually on fire? Oh, it's because I'm playing the podcast in the background. And we used my friend's 4Runner, not your gen, not the one after, but the one after that. That came out in 5th gen. That came out in 2011 or whatever.
Yeah, they've been building that car for 10 years.
Yeah, it's the same car. It's still the same car as yours. There's just not much has changed.
People
but
buy them.
They're great.
Yeah.
Don't fix what ain't broke. But did the same thing. I had a bunch of Subaru people from the meet that came, and I was like, hey, we're going to go run down the local highway. If y'all want to just line up, we're going to do big rolling highway shots with these group of Subarus out the back of the 4Runner. And it's perfect for that. That's what it's meant for. So I understand now. It's a perfect film car for something like that.
Have a sip of your A treat.
Absolutely, you may.
I'm probably going to go get some gargle away to help with my throat.
Yeah, go
Just
for it.
like a ginger throat gargle.
Mm.
This is A Treat. Big taste. Naturally flavored. Grapefruit soda.
I love explaining A Treat to people who are not from,
Oh,
because it's only regional to Eastern Pennsylvania. Well, for the most part, I've found it at a few places in Jersey. But
Is this corn syrup or is this real sugar? Corn syrup. Brr. Gotta go to the gym tomorrow. So Susie sounds like a big girl who works at Home Depot in the lumber area and does 300-pound squats. Nice. I've been kissed on my dick in church. No, it was not the priest. It was your mom. Ha ha. I need help pulling my dick out for the urinal. I kind of lied because it's the urinals that go all the way to the floor. But your mom is super thirsty because she watched The Young and the Restless. Hey, Mr. Regular, just went into a new Ford F-350 with the new Ford 773 gas engine. It's got a large service body on the back, and I'm adding a crane. Would you review my crane? My name is Quinn Stevens.
Not a car.
It looks like Stevie's.
It's not a car.
Quinn
Quinn
Stevie's. I'm adding a crane that I'll never use. My name is Quinn. I like to sin. Kurt Bravick's. The people asking, can we tint the tail light on the wall?
No.
No.
I said no. Can I turn it on?
Yeah, you can turn it on. You might have to take it off the wall. Find the little battery pack in there. It's probably not going to show up on camera.
I didn't even know that turned on.
I don't know how to turn on. I found the battery pack, but I don't know how to turn
Yeah,
it
there's a
on.
little switch on the side of the battery pack
On
up
the
there.
side of it. Oh. Yeah, you can't even really entirely see that it's on, but it does turn on.
Yeah, I mean, if you turn this light off here, you can kind of see that it's on. And even if we turn off all the lights, it's sort of like dim. Because it's running off a 9-volt battery and 12 volts. So it's dim. It's brighter if I wired it up to the turn signal, and the turn signal's bright.
Because the
It's
turn
just-
signal doesn't have any red tint over it. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like
also
the
just
clear.
running one bulb instead of right now the little 9-volt battery's running 2 bulbs.
Yeah. You remember those the big square batteries that you put in like lanterns? One of those.
I remember those.
One of those sitting down. Yeah, well, at that point, just fuck it. You should just wire it up to 12 volt and plug it into a wall.
Yeah.
If you're going to go through the pain of having a cord running down the wall, sitting
Yeah.
over here with the battery, just whatever.
I wonder how you would do that. I guess you would need one of those like Radio Shack wall adapters.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the same, in theory, the same like 12 volt, like charger, like wall charger for like a Bluetooth speaker or anything like that. You could just snip the end off of it and wire it into.
Okay, is that a definite thing that we could do, or am I gonna like blow something up doing that?
Well, I'm not an electrician.
Okay.
That's how I would do it, and then just
Who's never done it?
plug it in a safe space to see what happens. And if it works, then maybe I'll put it on my wall.
Those guys that like will cut a vehicle in half and then they'll have like, you know what I mean, like a little bar that's made from the front of like a square body.
Yeah.
And they wired up the headlights to like turn on or something like that.
Huh.
Or like I've
Oh,
seen
run
like
your
people
battery
make
down.
truck beds.
Yeah.
Like beds out of actual trucks, and they've like wired on the lights so they work or something like that.
Yeah. I suppose someone's already made a video like how to wire up 12 volt DC lights to run on that. I found
that's
Leo said it's safe. I don't know if I
Oh,
trust
great.
There's the
that.
people out there who make like do taillight retrofits. They have a little 9-volt battery to test the lights before they, you know what I mean.
I've done that.
Like
I've
people
done that
who've
when I'm
put
wiring.
like LED
things up.
boards inside of like old taillights to made custom taillights, and they sit there and want to test.
Hmm.
You know, people who want to test head units to see if they work without having to shove it in a car or something like that.
He said get a generic 12 volt adapter and the right barrel plug, and the adapter does all the safety related stuff.
Neat.
So then the
That's
wall
true.
adapter keeps it from exploding, apparently.
Okay.
So yes, the
So
answer is yes.
yes.
So if you find one, just hanging on the wall at a thrift store where they have the cables for 50 cents, just
Yeah.
all over there, snatch one of those, and can't imagine that would be too challenging.
Stuart Searle says, hello, big fan. I really enjoy the videos. Are you familiar with Satch Carlson?
Snatch.
Satch Carlson, an old-time writer for Auto Week. No, I am not. Your stuff reminds me of his writings. Oh, cool. Thank you. I've been kissed on my nose by a guy who says he's not gay, and he will pull out his gun on me if I say anything. He just has to do this on Mondays. His wife works for the VA and is a dyke.
I feel like you could wire up like all kinds of different lights and stuff like that if you really wanted to. Just go to the junkyard and just have like a whole a wall of taillights or something like that.
Yeah, like get a pegboard
Can
and
you
just put
imagine?
all that stuff in. That'd be neat. I still have more empty space over here underneath me to make this room look like it has more stuff in it.
Because I like those, those podcasts where you watch a podcast studio. It looks like it's like each little trinket's got like a story behind it or something like that. It's like, what the hell is this? And it's like, well, this is from blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And it's like
I have a piece of glass from my last E34. I had one window in the car that I put all my stickers on. And when I totaled that car, I popped the glass out of it so I could keep all the stickers that I put on that window. It'd be like hang up a taillight, headlight.
Yeah, maybe I should just stop like trying to create order on this wall and just go for pure chaos. There's something in my eye. I'll tell you what.
All right, well, you can go get it out of your eye if you need to, or are you just going to take a photo of it with it? How did that feel?
It felt like a bright light. That's a good photo.
Tasty. Those little point and shoots. My friend.
Who is Zigzag?
I have no idea. I feel like they know us.
I feel like too. What's your thoughts on John Davis? Well, he's still alive. First, I mean which is like I don't feel like he's got much time left.
The new Ford Probe is the latest thing from Toyota. I'm John Davis, and I don't have an interior voice.
Why did he talk like that all the time? I don't even.
I'm projecting, even though there is a mic right on me. He's like an old school radio guy.
Yeah, I know exactly who that is, and I don't even know the name John Davis, but I know who you're trying to be. Yeah.
And my favorite thing is that you could tell how like when the reviews are really old because it'll be like a '89 Accord and John, he'll be like, the Orientals really know how to build a car nowadays, and it's like you can't say that anymore.
Come on, John.
I knew a guy that there's a Mercedes
from East Asia.
Yeah,
Detroit's really putting pressure on Tokyo with this one,
There's a mechanic who works.
It's as slanty-eyed as the people who make them.
Christ.
I'm John Davis.
Oh my god. Yeah, there's a mechanic who works
with him, or formerly or something. Like friend of the show, we did his AMC ambassador, and he worked for Maryland Public Television. So, I mean, props to Motor Week who were able to like pitch that to Maryland Public Television. That there was no other like independent stuff because we never had a Top Gear, and Motor Week was like the closest thing we ever had.
Mm-hmm. Hell, John still lives in Maryland.
Does he?
Like he actually showed up like on my Facebook like friends recommended. Like,
no way. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm like John Davis.
Yeah.
I'm like, and I wouldn't be surprised if I like know someone who's like two people like he knows someone who knows someone who knows John Davis.
Yeah.
Or something like that because the car world is constantly small.
Mark Split says it suits some people's personalities. Dim. I did that in high school with the VHS shade spray tint. Everybody in my friend group did. Shame on us. Don't know what they're talking about.
They're talking about like all the shitty mods that kids did for their cars, like tinted taillights, cutting the muffler off.
Yeah.
Little tacky eBay mods like colored lug nuts, or I put 8,000K LEDs or HIDs in my car, and now my headlights are purple. My favorite, the tackiest thing I see nowadays is that people will buy a black car and then like tint all the lights and then paint the wheels black and then paint all the trim, and now the car looks like it hasn't been unlocked in a video game because it's even got like a license plate cover that's tinted.
Yeah.
So the entire car just looks like it hasn't been unlocked yet in a video game.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can someone think that looks good?
Is that your tag group on Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like your car hasn't been unlocked in Need for Speed or something like that.
The tag group on Facebook I made because I got tired of seeing like blacked out car, like murdered out cars, because I think it's the tackiest thing ever, and I would make fun of people for it all the time. And I'm like, wow, that looks awful.
Yeah, you gotta have some sort of contrast there.
I know. My favorite thing was how people will rag on something like chrome wheels.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, that's outdated, and then but my black spray painted wheels look so much better.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, black wheels have like on an 88.6, they look fantastic. They look good on.
Because that's like the thing, like the black like Watts, like that's the look for the 86.
What's that brand name of wheel from Japan, which is like their version of Krager's that they show up on everything?
VSKFs.
VSK.
those the ones? Because I'm thinking
I
like
see them on Miatas all the time.
no, I'm thinking like Krager, like Diamond makes Steelies like that, like Krager kind of style wheels. I don't know.
Someone in the chat will know. I've seen them a million times. Some kid in my high school has a base model 3000 GT with silver window tint and cut springs and the worst looking wheels. Yeah, no.
3000 GT owners are, yeah. It's like you wanted to own a DSM but couldn't find one that wasn't beat.
Yeah. They're not BBS wheels.
No, not BBS. What do they look like? They look like Kragers? Or they look like...
No.
So when someone says Kragers, I think Krager D windows, which is like, I don't think what we're talking about.
No. Krager's American Racing made a knockoff one. They're on every Wingadinga car.
Like the 5-spoke, like torque thrust looking
yeah,
like Mustang
like
stocks. Yeah, those are...
Yeah,
like
but the
VS
Japanese, the one I'm thinking of that show up on Miatas, they're like 12-spoke wheels.
Oh.
Panasports? The ones that look like bananas?
That may be it.
Because I was thinking about these, which everybody refers to as like Japan's torque thrusts, because they like have that 5-spoke twisty thing.
I can see what you mean with that, because that's more like I made a resto mod. I have a Chevy small block and these things, and I painted my drums. Yes, those.
So those are Panasports.
Panasports, yeah.
Oh, like a Watanabe knockoff. Yeah. And NK makes a set of Watanabe style wheels as well.
People say, "Oh, my car's on Watts." Watanabes, which is like the real version, with the Panasports are kind of like replicas. Are they?
Yeah, I mean, the Watanabe was their original of that design. But yeah, I know what you mean.
Someone said CBT wheels. Nice.
Yes.
Cognitive behavioral therapy wheels.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Nothing else.
I like how now we mentioned that. Now everyone's just throwing out wheels.
Yeah.
Like, oh, TE37 or RPF ones. Like.
Yeah, and like I said, NK made a replica of those that my friend had on her FC RX-7. They looked really good. But yeah, like Watanabe was the original maker of that style that was out of Japan. And those wheels look good on everything. I know people say that about like RPF ones and stuff, but like I haven't seen something on Watts that doesn't look good.
RPF1.
You've seen them. They're
Miata,
like the
Miata
most
track
common,
day wheels.
They literally every other S2000 or every other Miata has
S2000s.
Those wheels.
Yeah.
There they are. Oh my god.
Yeah, they're just 6-spoke, split-spoke wheels.
Yeah, I wanted them for my Neon.
Oh, you had a Neon.
I
forgot about that.
Second-gen Neon.
Yeah.
I had one, and I need a mod at, RPF1. Ew.
Yeah, NK RPF ones.
No.
I always joke that RPF ones are like stock on S2000s.
Yeah.
They might as well be, yeah.
Like, the whole thing is, like, do you know how, like... Because I run a group on Facebook about, like, called OEM wheels and other makes and models. And it's all just about, like, I don't know, like, Dodge Durango on, like, you know, Dakota wheels or something like that. Or it's like a Honda Civic on Accord wheels or, like, Mazda 3 wheels. And there's this running gag that Volkswagen kids back in, like, the early 2010s loved to run C4 Corvette wheels. So,
okay.
And there's this running gag that Volkswagen kids ran these wheels so often that some people just started calling them Volkswagen wheels. And I see this comment in my group all the time. And it is like, I call it the your mom joke of automotive wheels, because it's like, wow, this joke was funny 10 years ago.
Every single post of a car on C4 like salad.
Oh, the car Volkswagen
like
wheels. It's
either
like, it's
either the
not funny, didn't laugh, didn't come.
Yeah, saw blades and salad shooters both get referred to as Volkswagen wheels because they're on every like Mark IV ever.
Where there's the same bolt pattern?
Not even. These kids run adapters.
But I don't know why. They're cool looking. People run them on E36s and stuff too, but they're like way too high of offset to fit on a 5 Series. Otherwise, I would have tried it.
I see Watanabe Classics. They're asking $765 for a set. That's not a
bad price.
Is that right?
For real ones, yeah, that sounds about right.
I
don't know. I've never looked at what they're worth, actually. I've never looked at buying one.
Yeah, but I always joke that RPF ones are like the stock wheel for S2000s or Miatas. Because it seems like...
Who else loves those? Speed 3 owners
Dude,
love RPF1s.
I don't know what it is.
When Speed 3 owners aren't putting Evo stocks on their car, they're running RPF1s.
Because it seems like it's like S2000 guys will either go immediately RPF1, don't even think about, you don't even absolutely put another brain cell into consideration of another wheel, except for maybe TE37s. That's about it. Like, you will only ever... It's like, the only exception is, like, now a lot of S2000 owners, since they've gained in value, is that, like, it's that their track day car. You know what I mean? But back when S2000s were cheap, like, 10 years ago, it wasn't uncommon to see them, like, really low on, like, weird, like, three-piece wheels. You just don't see that anymore.
No.
Now, like, oh, these cars are worth too much, like, you know, so you just don't see interesting S2000s anymore. It's all just, like... lowered like half an inch or an inch, like RPF1 sticky tires. That's it. So
sorry for yawning all the time. I wonder how these real like podcast people keep that energy up. They probably just do it in the middle of the day, or maybe they're wired different.
Maybe they do coke like the good old days.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I watch a podcast, I always see like everyone's drinking like Red Bull, or like everyone goes from like a coffee or
unless
to like
it's who the fuck that's just got a big thermos full of Kool-Aid.
Oh,
Bert Kreischer.
Fucking Bert Kreischer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw that.
I wasn't
It's
sure
like-
if it was Bert or if it was somebody else
it was-
that's just got the.
Yeah, it was him on Two Bears. It's like, I got this whole thing. It's full of Kool-Aid. It's like, you drink that every day.
64 ounces of Kool-Aid. Are you ready to try your first Birch beer?
Not that it's warm. If you go put it back in the fridge, I'll try it again in 15 minutes.
It's not.
Yeah, put it in the fridge.
Put it back in the fridge.
All right.
You got it out of the fridge, so you get to put it back in the fridge.
That's
how this game show works.
Kissed by a rose on the chairlift. The chaperone is looking at me weird.
You want a beer?
No, I'm still working on my A treat, my guy.
Okay.
I'm still slurping that grapefruit.
I'll make myself.
It's cold. Felt
I'll
the draft immediately.
I hope you can find the light. Well, there's like 5 different lights in my kitchen.
He'll be all right.
My brother got me. My brother, you find the light switch, or are you good?
I have pretty decent night vision.
Who's texting me? Greg Solga says, crazy idea, by the way. Oh, never mind. I was telling my Greg Solga. Shit, I said his name. No, I can use his warehouse to store Crazy Taxi.
How soon is this crazy taxi thing happening?
Probably. Okay. So OBX is May.
Okay.
Is it?
I don't know. Is it?
Are you going to OBX?
Maybe. Oh, the BMW reunion is in May
That's
as well.
the thing. I don't really know.
I don't know
So much
because
going on.
I haven't gotten a place, but Corey down in Maryland.
It's in May. They said they were Dre and them were gonna do OBX in May. And I've never been, and I really should. So
you have to go. Like I said, I think I told you, you have to go to Biscuits and Porn,
yeah,
which is that gas station in the Outer Banks. And it's funny because I have my Biscuits and Porn T-shirt, and everyone's like, "That's not real. What's that?" I'm like, "It's a gas station." They're like, "What?"
Where were we that somebody asked you about that? Like we were just like out in public somewhere, and somebody looked at your shirt, and you're like, "That's not real," and you had to like pull up the Google Maps and like show them the images from the place.
And that happens to me like every once in a while.
I'm sure it does. Every time you wear the shirt, I'm sure somebody
Like,
asks
what's
about
that?
it.
Biscuits and Porn.
If my mother saw it, I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
10
What's that?
years ago, if my mother saw it, she would have been appalled at the idea of
a shirt that says something bad on it.
yeah.
Hardly.
Does anybody ever say anything about your Ultima driver shirt?
Somebody just did in the comment section
Yeah.
of the podcast. That said
Nice.
that Ultima shirt is baller.
Nice.
Yeah, people everywhere seem to that and the Camry shirt. You wear the Camry shirt around, and people are like, "That fucks."
I
The
love
Camry shirt's
shirt.
great.
This is cool, but I feel like the Camry shirt's got a little bit more irony to it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is just like a...
Obviously,
Yeah, because it's like 0 to 100 km time, like 11 seconds. Like it's just got like statistics on it. 4-speaker premium audio, like just things that aren't impressive.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point of it. We were talking about that the other night, like the whole Camry thing and how we don't generally agree with the current design of the Camry, because I compared it to, if anyone's ever like, and it's weird that I know this because I swear to God I'm not a Disney adult, but I know that Disney has this color called Go Away Green. Yeah. That they paint everything that you're not supposed to see. Yeah. Because it's such a boring color that kind of blends in with everything that you don't look at it. Yeah. And that's what I think the Camry is supposed to be. For the longest time, the Camry has always been the go-away green of cars. Like, if you see a Camry, that means it's done. It's failed.
Yeah, it's done something. Like when they came out with the TRD Camry.
Yeah, the same thing goes with the Taurus. Like, if you see a Taurus, it's like you're not supposed to see them. Like they're just supposed to exist in society.
Was people were complaining like the Camry's so boring. Oh, the Camry. I would buy a Camry if it was more interesting. And then Toyota's like, all right. Well, we'll give you interesting, and then they just made it ridiculous.
They're like, here's red accents, a bunch of splitters that you don't want that you'll break on the first curb you pull into, and a spoiler that no one asked for.
Camrys, like,
and fake quad exhausts.
Like, oh my god, another beige Camry, there's a silver Camry. It's like, that's why people wanted them. Yeah. They're just inconspicuous, you know what I mean?
I think Go Away Green is just olive drab.
It pretty much is. I think it's
maybe it's not an exact shade of it.
Yeah, it's definitely on that list of like things that, just like that color. Mm-hmm.
I've been kissed by a rose at Disney World.
Some people go to Disney World every year.
Dude, it's my Uncle Jim. Like he's like a man in his 60s who goes to Disney World every year. He's lost most of his teeth. His last major job was working for, I'm not joking, Eastern Airlines. He lived off credit cards for a while once he quit his job at Washington Inventory. And so when he had his first stroke, they found out he was $250 large in credit card debt because he was just paying off one credit card with another credit card and then just saying, it's too late for me anyway. So he'd just go to Disney World all the time with his loser buddy fucking, what's his name? Brad. Brad goes to the same barbershop I do. Everybody knows Brad.
Do you think
Brad goes to the bathroom to cheat on conversations by looking stuff up on Wikipedia, coming back with his phone in his pocket and saying, "Did you know that?" Brad went to January 6th. Brad got administrative leave from the United States Post Office for going into people's houses when they were at work and eating stuff out of their fridge. Brad got caught on a Ring doorbell doing it, but the people whose house he broke into, let himself in because he was trying doorknobs. Mm-hmm. My name is Brad. Said, well, I don't want him to get in trouble because he's a nice guy, so they just made him retire. Right. So then he went around saying that he got a sweet deal and got to retire early from the United States Post Office. My name's Brad. Brad doesn't listen. Right. When he just talks at you. He's one of these guys. And he's a complete genius and knows exactly what's going on in the world. Mm-hmm. His retirement plan is waiting for mom to die so he can get the house. And if you ever want to piss off Brad, you just say, "Hey, Brad, I heard you like sandwiches." Because that's what he was doing. He was making himself, not only just eating stuff out of the fridge, preparing himself a sandwich.
It wasn't just snack. It wasn't a quick snack. He was there for the long run.
He knew
he had a long plan. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one was going to be home. I can make myself a hoagie in someone's kitchen.
How many times do you think credit card companies have ate shit because some old guy just kicked the bucket with a lot of debt? Or do they come after family members?
I don't think they can do that.
It depends.
Maybe if it's a married couple.
I mean, there's no cosigner on to your Discover card or something.
Yeah, so that's the fun thing. With a home debt and stuff like that, houses and cars and stuff. Yeah, my mother went through a similar situation when my dad left the picture because they were married and they got divorced. But because of the place that my dad went to where he wasn't allowed to have rights, my mother got everything in the divorce, which included his debt.
Oh.
So.
Yeah, and that's something else, because if you get married
Mm-hmm.
and one person has student debt, that's now your student debt. That sucks.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's what I figured. If like you're married with someone and there's debt, you know what I mean? But it's like, how many do you think there's like single dads out there that are just maxing out credit cards, and then like they kick the bucket and the credit card company's like, well, we're 40 grand in the hole.
Yeah, I think in terms of credit card companies, they're not going to care. This is a stock podcast now.
Do you think they have like they get insured? Like these credit card companies are insured for shit
Yeah.
like that?
Yeah.
Like,
I think you have to be.
Our janitor fucking died.
Yeah, I'm
Like, what do we
fairly
do?
sure that you have to like be some type of insured for that one. So.
All right, let me wait.
This is a stocks podcast now.
Yeah, this
Well,
is a
I guess
finance podcast.
If you want to talk finance,
if Ben McElwee comes on, it's going to become a real estate
Is
podcast.
it? Well, I mean, have you seen how Carvana and CarMax are like kind of going under recently?
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, I know.
Do I own? Okay, I bought Carvana at $150 a share. It's now at what? What is it?
I don't
Look it
even
up.
wanna-
Carvana's
Isn't it
current
like
stock price.
$6?
I lost about $1,000. I think I had 10 shares of Carvana. I bought $130 a share. I think I'm down $900 from that price.
It's $4.74.
Yeah, that company's never bouncing back from that.
That's bad.
Well, also there's Carvana, which is Carvana's been liquidating some of their like inventory.
How? Who are they selling it to CarMax?
No. Carvana is liquidating their cars so other dealerships can buy up their cars.
Oh, okay.
But also, there's Carvana doing that. But CarMax, I believe, lost like more than 80% of like their third quarter was down like 89% or something like that. 89%.
Yep.
There was like a Jalopnik article I read where it's like.
Does that mean that Carvana is going to come back to earth with their prices, or are they just going to keep them jacked?
I think that Carvana is just going to go under completely.
Yeah.
And I think this is literally the tipping point of used car prices going back down.
I hope so.
Yeah, dude. I'll take $1,000. I'll take a total loss on Carvana, like $1,500, if it means I can save money. If I can save like $5,000 on a new car.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
it means
still
the cars I want are affordable again. I'm
Yeah.
so
'Cause
sorry.
The thing is that Carvana, CarMax, and there was a few other like huge dealership chains that people were trading in their cars because they were offering massive amounts. You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
above market value.
Above
for
market
trade-ins, yeah.
value. So everyone go ahead and traded in their car, and Carvana and CarMax gave them X amount of money. And now that used cars, like, hey, people aren't really buying too many used cars right now. That
Yeah, Connor was joking the other day about the i3 that if Carvana finally goes belly up, he's like, does that mean I don't have to pay for it anymore?
Hell yeah. Okay, pull up your calculator.
Okay.
Let's put things in perspective with credit card companies.
all right.
Okay.
This is stock symbol V, which is Visa.
Okay.
7 times 2.12.
Okay. 14.84.
Okay, so Visa has earnings this year of, what did you say,
14.82.
14.82 billion.
Holy shit.
That's their
Is
earnings.
their earnings this
Do you
year?
think they care about some old guy with 40 grand?
Nope.
No.
No, they don't.
They do not, even if they had to eat it. So, and I came up with that number because currently Visa has 2.12 billion shares outstanding,
Okay.
and their earnings per share is $7 a share.
Mm-hmm.
So that is their value currently. Their average volume in money made every 10 days is $5.47 million every 10 days. That's how much Visa makes.
Holy shit.
Currently, they are trading at $208 per share on the New York Stock Exchange. And any time is a good buy. They even pay a dividend. Do they pay a dividend per share? Will they pay 45 cents a share? The chart over the last 5 years, you can see the big dip in there during the pandemic, but Visa is doing quite well.
They're doing fine.
Yeah.
Well, since the holidays recently.
Well, yes, they will always do well. If that we go back, look on the past month. Okay. Yeah, okay. They had a 1st of November, they did well. They went down, peaked price of about $216 a share on the 1st or 2nd of December, and now we're at they in fact peaked last July. July of 22, where they peaked at $252 a share.
What was happening in July? Did anything big happen then that people would start spending a bunch of money again?
Don't know.
Okay.
Now some of the prices on these just trend along with the general S&P 500. So there's a number of different things that could cause that, but you'd have to compare this security against something else. Like, let's look at banks. Let's look at a favorite of mine, stock price GS, which is Goldman Sachs. Currently trading at, and you know what? This also had a peak. So banks, at least this particular bank, also had a peak in the middle of July, trading at $420 a share. Goldman Sachs, okay, here you go. Okay. Goldman Sachs isn't quite as profitable. Actually, you know what? Let's see. I need you to do some math for me.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right. 338.63.
Okay.
Times 37.54.
12,712.17.
12,000.
712.
Okay, so that is $12.7 billion.
Okay.
And what Visa's was more than 12? That was 14.
It was like, yeah.
Okay, so Visa is in fact, valued, has more earnings than Goldman Sachs. Although Goldman Sachs is currently trading higher. So what does that mean? Well, that means they're about the same type of company. Let's see if I'm being contradicted in the chat. This podcast went from leave your car stock to leave your car stocks. Yes, I wouldn't buy any stock in any automotive manufacturer, not even Toyota.
Nope.
It's too much of a volatile business. If you want to buy stock in something, buy stock in the materials. Or buy stock in the materials that make the materials. Such as, my dad talks about this, and I own a little bit of it. Stock symbol, I think it's APD. Let me make sure. Can't remember if I have it in this account or a different account. Alpha, Papa, Delta. There it is. Air Products. I think they're a Pennsylvania company, or maybe they came from somebody else. Or they're a conglomerate now. Air Products makes everything that goes into those oxygen-style tanks that you see strapped to back of trucks going down to different manufacturing places. So if you bought acetylene, if you buy bottled oxygen, if you buy hydrogen, all sorts of stuff that you need for welding, cutting things, melting things together, and also they make some materials as well. That is Air Products. A company in a very hipster way. Nobody has really heard of this, but they make the stuff that they make the stuff that allows people to make stuff.
Right. That's a good industry to be in.
Currently, they're valued at very high. Their dividend is quite good at 2.1%, and will pay you $1.62 every quarter for every share that you own. Their chart, I think, right now they're kind of overvalued. because they just have a gigantic spike going up in the past couple months. I think they closed some sort of deal.
Someone said, "What's going to happen to all this Carvana car vending machines when they go under?" And someone said Matt Farah will probably buy them and turn them into a storage facility.
Hell yeah.
I would be
They
down.
are very conspicuous, aren't they?
Yeah, they're glowing in blue. I mean, I assume they don't have to be blue.
How did that company, like looking back now, we have the benefit of hindsight, that company was so overvalued.
Yeah.
And there was so much flash behind it.
Yeah.
And now we find out that they were selling cars that didn't have titles or a bunch of other crap.
Yeah, it was like every ideal person's like get rich quick scheme that actually worked.
Yeah.
It was like what do you think we can get away with and for how long and how much money can we run away with? But it actually worked.
Yeah.
And people bought it.
And they kept expanding. And it would work if the product was good. Where were they? You know, it's funny, like looking back, we realize this now, that all their pictures of their cars were from 20 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And they were well lit with that white background.
Mm-hmm. Well, they would do that, like the transparency thing, where they would take those photos that was like, oh, scratch or like light dent, and they just like really close up micro shot of like a little nick in the paint.
Yeah.
And they'd highlight that in the for sale thing, but like gloss over the fact that the front bumper was 2 shades lighter than it should be.
Uh-oh.
And one of the clips wouldn't hold it in right.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I've seen like videos of people taking delivery of a Carvana car, and they look, because it's like when you take delivery of it, it's like you get to do one good look around, and if you're not happy, you tell them like take it back. And I've watched that happen before. It's like they get the car delivered and they do like a walk around, and I'm like, nope, this is shittier than I thought. And it was like the car was like had like an accident, but never reported, and they could tell, and they're looking at this and they're like, nope, send it back.
Yep.
And it's happened plenty of times.
Yeah, and well, in Carvana's defense, not that I want to defend them or even play devil's advocate with them, but in their defense, they did have a pretty like solid return policy of like hey, if you get this car and you're not a fan of it because you ordered it online, and it's pretty hard to order things like cars online without driving them first. If you hate it, whatever, you can give it back. Or if something's wrong with this one, but you want another one because you like it, just this one isn't it, we'll replace it with some other one that you find from elsewhere and ship it to you. And then, but I think they only did that like once. You couldn't play like trade a car for 7 or 8 times until you really found the gem. It was, so yeah, it was an interesting policy that they had, but yeah, I just think, yeah, there was too much shady going on that wasn't kosher, and it gave him a bad rap pretty fast.
Were they even offering like good like loans and stuff like that?
I don't know. I almost worked for Carvana at some point in time. It was one of the jobs I looked at going into. It was that, and State Farm Insurance was a job that I also looked at doing, and they still email me every once in a while asking me to do it because it was like just a stupid data entry. Like it was like you just, whenever you call in because you get an accident or something and you talk to your rep and they talk you through it, they don't actually enter any of the information in the database about your accident. The call's just recorded. And some monkey sitting behind a computer, which would have been me, listens to the recordings and enters all of that data as fast as possible into a database and then punches it all in the system.
When you say as fast as possible, like, what do you mean? You don't get to listen to it twice?
I mean, I'm sure you could listen through it twice, but they put a heavy emphasis on speed when I was going through the job application process and like the early tests of just like how quickly and accurately can you enter this data from a recorded phone call.
Oh, okay. Matt Lazo says, "Where's Nick tonight?" Nick is with girlfriend tonight. Good. Stuart returns are fantastic. Stuart also says, "I invest in cannabis. I'm waiting for my guy to come over so I can invest $200.
Could use one of those guys.
Yeah. That wouldn't be fun though. I've listened to people doing podcasts on cannabis, and it's just like, what?
Where it's funny, it's like
You just
a
know
podcast of like people in cannabis like watching YouTube videos or like reacting to something.
Yeah.
And it's just like really mundane shit, and I'm like, whoa.
Do you remember the show called Dr. Katz, Professional Therapist?
No, I don't.
Oh, this is like Adult Swim circa 2000.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So what it is it's a cartoon, and it stars the voice actor who did Archer.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
H. John Benjamin.
yes,
Yes.
him, yeah.
Love him. Yeah.
So it's H. John Benjamin, and like another, just another voice actor who I can't remember. And the gimmick was they'd have stand-up comics at the time come on the show, be animated,
Okay.
but they're telling stories to a therapist. But really, it's a way for them to showcase some of their bits, and then they just animate them. It was sort of a predecessor to Shorties Watching Shorties.
Okay.
But then there would be an actual plot to the show where Dr. Katz, the therapist, would go in and sort of have a Seinfeld-esque day with his son being played by, Scott Benjamin?
H. John Benjamin?
H. John Benjamin. But that's all improv.
Uh-huh.
But it's animated. So it's an improv bit that's then animated, and it's great to fall asleep to. Because it's a cartoon that the animation's irrelevant. Because they're just saying what they're doing. Like, yeah, I can see your wallet has someone else's phone number on it. Yeah, I got it at the bus stop. It was someone else's wallet. And they sort of build a show around that, around just riffing. I don't know what made me think about that.
So
Dude, you can't relate with Nick picking your vehicle and profiling it for your driving it. What? Dude, you can't relate with nitpicking your vehicle and profiling you for driving it. I don't get that statement.
Someone asked, "How was the restaurant? What we get?"
Oh yeah.
I guess some people are still tuning in, like watch the first half of the podcast.
Yeah, I've seen some familiar names in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. We had a dinner of appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
We had meatballs.
Good balls.
We had pork belly tacos.
Fantastic.
You had calamari.
Okay,
They
crab
just brought
dip.
and then crab dip.
Crab dip.
And then they brought bread to the table.
The bread actually wowed me more than I anticipated it.
Soft,
Super
hot,
soft, very hot.
Yeah.
The garlic was fantastic. The garlic confit on top was perfect.
The great thing about this restaurant is that they don't tell you that you're getting free bread.
No.
And it's not like Olive Garden where you kind of expect it. This is like, oh, by the way, some bread for you.
Right.
Like, oh, well, this is nice. And then then you have to expect them that this is sourced. No, it's fucking baked back there.
Right.
And they just bake it in pans and they cut it up. And that's the thing about this restaurant. You can try to be on a low carb diet and it ain't going to work.
Nope.
I don't even know what you would call this particular restaurant.
Like new Americana kind of style.
Yeah.
Because like on Google,
because it's not Italian, but they did the meatballs, and it's not like Mexican food, but they had like the really good pork
like
belly
New American.
tacos.
It's
It's the new Americana style. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
calamari.
There is an Italian
crab dip
tint on it because Joe, his family's Italian.
Clearly.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So you get that, and they do this beef tip pasta. It's really good. It's really filling.
Ooh, that sounds good.
You
had me at pasta. Just say the word pasta and I'll show up.
It's one of those dishes that if you order it for yourself, you'll hate it. You have to like, can I have this and just bring another plate because we're gonna split this? It's one of these things,
Well, one thing a lot of people who are not from like, especially the Atlantic Northeast, like this part, don't understand that you will see, especially out here, is like combination restaurants where you will see a lot of like pizza places that are also run by Mexicans. So you see like Mexican food. Like pizza, Mexican food, like that's pretty common around here.
Yeah. Yep.
Like there's a place near the Larkin House, which is like it's called just Taco Pizza. That's the name of the place, and you can get like quesabirra on a pizza, or you can get like al pastor on a pizza. Like one thing, I got a stromboli with chorizo in it one time.
Hell yes,
it was solid too. Like it was good. It was a good stromboli with like just good ingredients too. So it's like that's not everywhere. Like I said, it's just like it's so easy to start a pizza business out here.
Yeah, just raw ingredients.
Exactly. Like it's not uncommon.
You get a seltzer.
It's not uncommon. You will see like just like in a pizza place, but also does like.
I'm okay. I'm still sipping on that.
Especially in Jersey, you'll see like five different types of foods in one restaurant.
Yeah.
Like the juicy halal and fucking Mexican food.
Yeah, there's a place I pass on the way to my work every day that's like that. It's just it looks like that juicy place, like the name of it. It's like tacos, pizza, halal. Like just they've got everything on the sign.
Someone asked, "Is pork and kraut on the menu everywhere tomorrow up there?" What? Pork and sauerkraut. I mean, like, sure, that's popular up here. Same with fucking pierogies.
What are we asking? Is there a question here that I'm not
No,
reading?
there's just this one dude who said, "Is pork and kraut on the menu everywhere up there tomorrow?" Up there, I guess it's like, because is that like good hangover food? I guess like I expect I want to get drunk and can we get fucking pork and sauerkraut the next day?
I don't know.
Oh, I love pork and sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder who's doing pork and sauerkraut tomorrow.
Someone said in
Yeah,
the chat-
somebody invite me to your house so I can eat pork and sauerkraut tomorrow.
Somebody.
Oh, and pierogies. Can't forget pierogies.
Someone said, "Why is this dude wearing Daisy Dukes in December?" And somebody else replied, "Because thirst trap."
Who calls these Daisy Dukes? People in the South?
I have no idea.
What the
I don't know
hell
what
is
Daisy
that?
Dukes are, and I'm from the South.
Daisy Dukes.
Oh, pork and sauerkraut is a Pennsylvania Dutch New Year's thing.
Yeah, it's like eat pork and sauerkraut on New Year's Day, and it's
Okay.
good luck for the year.
I'm interested. I'm just interested in the pork part, to be honest, because I'm just.
You don't like sauerkraut?
It depends.
Yeah, good sauerkraut will change you.
He says this about everything, and then it doesn't. There's a lot of things that he's like, "Oh, you got good like tomatoes." Like I'm picking.
I like the sauerkraut you just get from the store. Just heat it up in the pan, and you just but you got to slow cook it for like a long
I
time.
haven't had enough of it. It's not huge where I'm from. Like sauerkraut's not. My grandmother loved it, but like my grandmother's heavy in like the German descent and like really ate like a lot of German foods and like Polish stuff. So, and there's a BMW camping trip that's just 80s 5 Series that they do in October down in Texas. And the guy who started the event, who runs the event, is of like some European descent, but like cooks a lot of Polish food, and he made like kielbasa and like we had like sausages and sauerkraut one night. It's like I had that, and like that was I enjoyed it. But
someone asked why I was wearing it in winter, because literally it was high of 60, almost 70 yesterday.
Yeah,
and today was like 50 something.
Yeah.
The thing is, but it was not only was it 50, but it was also humid, so it's like it felt like 60 degrees outside, like peak today.
Mm-hmm.
Jim says, if a debt is incurred before a marriage, Jim
just texted me and said Daisy Dukes and sent me a photo.
If a debt is incurred before a marriage, to the other spouse, I guess what he's saying, who had not incurred the debt, it is not responsible for that debt. If the debt is incurred during the marriage, then it's considered community property. Both spouses are on the hook. Good to know.
A lot of people don't realize that like a Pennsylvania like cold is below freezing. Like when it's below 40 degrees, then everyone's like, "Oh, it's cold," but it's like
no.
But the thing is, like 40 degrees and above in winter, everyone's like, "Oh, it's like kind of warm out." You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
so
a mild day.
Yeah.
And I'm from the hottest inhabitable city in the U.S., and I've lived all 23 out of my 24 years of life there.
Yeah.
And I did just fine at work, working on the loading dock, unloading parts off of the Hyundai delivery truck at 4 a.m. when it was 26 degrees out.
Okay.
Fine. North of 20, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
I've discovered that my limit's about 20.
Well, yeah,
when I
was
was doing that and it was like 9 degrees outside.
Oh, it hurts.
That wasn't it. I wasn't
hurts.
that. It hurt later when I got feeling back in my fingers again. That hurt.
Do you have cold weather gear?
No.
Yeah, you're gonna need some of that.
I definitely should. Funnily enough, my friend Adam, who y'all can see in the live chat, sent me a gift. He said I bought you and Lance something for Christmas and Amazoned it to the house. and in said box was a pair of electric heated socks.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah, and like a 45 pack of hand
What
warmers.
pissed me off
and
is that it was like a gag, but it's all useful shit.
Yeah, like he
yeah.
sent it as a joke of like I'm sent you guys Christmas gifts. Like, watch out.
Hand warmers are dope.
No, for real. I took them
Put
to
them
work.
inside your gloves. You're good.
Oh my!
I didn't
even put them. I don't wear gloves when I'm checking stuff in because I need to like touch the screen on the scanner.
Do you want a pair of fingerless gloves? I have a whole bag of them.
I would actually be interested in that. But but I put them just in my jacket pockets, and when I wasn't handling boxes of parts, I just shoved my hands in my pockets and warm them up.
So someone asked, do they have east of Chicago pizza in Pennsylvania, or is it just an Ohio thing?
What the hell is east of Chicago pizza?
It seems like it's a chain, but the thing is that Chicago-style pizza is not really respected this far east, because we are like literally where we're sitting now. We can be in New York City in like an hour and some change. So it's like you will not find Chicago-style pizza out this way. Like, not at all.
Oh, well, thank you. I much appreciated. These would actually do me some favors at work.
Awesome.
So instead, in Houston, cold is 50. It's funny because when we were in New Orleans, when it was like 55, I was walking around in a tank top and shorts, like, oh, this is great, and everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy.
Yeah, people looked at you like you were insane because you were wearing those shorts with your Modelo tank top.
Yeah.
Walking around New Orleans, and it was.
I looked aggressively like a tourist, but it was. Yeah. I'm like, whatever, might as well rock it.
Yeah.
I have to read this one thing about fallopian tubes. It'll prevent me from the and if you're watching this, they won't care. It'll prevent me from the risk of ever getting pregnant the normal way. I should read this in my weather voice. It greatly decreases the risk of ovarian cancer, more than just tying the tubes would. After Roe v. Wade was stripped away, the fear of getting pregnant got way worse. I'd rather not have to try getting an abortion. I've never wanted kids. But it's hard to get the procedure done in a lot of states. If you're too young, like under 35, haven't already had at least one kid, and get permission from your husband, it's ridiculous how little body autonomy women have sometimes. Tomorrow's high will be 48 degrees, with a low of 32. Winds north-northwest at 5 miles an hour. Dew point 5 degrees. And on Monday, high 83, with a wind chill of 105. Visibility, yes. Winds north-northwest at 19,000 miles an hour.
Yep. Winds, they'll be there.
Winds, definitely.
You'll feel that.
Adam Scarletto in the
You'll
chat
feel
said, I want to get my tubes tied. Thank you, Adam. Thank you for the hand warmers also.
Ah. I wish there was
We also got a super chat
Oh, we got a super chat.
of $20.
Thank you. $20. Generous. Happy New Year, regular friends. Here's to hitting 1 million in 2023. Thank you, Michael KB. That's a generous donation. I appreciate it. I wish I was at Flappy New Year. You see how we're kind of like flowing in and out of the conversation, but we've kind of been keeping it up for an hour?
Yeah.
Imagine trying to do that with a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
But also you got fursuits running around and a bunch of other stuff, and trying to have games. It's like I need like another co-host. I wish like Nick was here. The crazy thing was I felt so inept, and people heard me talking this before when Ian Fidance was here. It was like, holy shit, this is a professional comedian, and somehow I got him that he's here. And I'm like, I'm like, he can like create lines from nothing.
Yeah.
And we're just like, yeah, cars and stuff. Yeah.
I feel like maybe if we started earlier in the day, We all woke up, had coffee, you know what I mean? But it's like later in the day, you know.
Later in the day, a whole bunch of food.
You know what I mean? Which I feel like some people
Is that mango in your seltzer water?
Yeah, I put frozen fruit in my seltzer water. It's better than having ice cubes because then I get a little reward for finishing my seltzer water. And also,
a little treat.
Also, I got a little treat.
We all know a boy who is a little crazy about his treat at the end of the day. A friend of mine tweeted that, where it's like it was because he's one of those like living shit posts people that will like tweet off like whatever is on his mind.
He tweets every 12 minutes, and they're all funny. And like they're all hilarious.
They're all like collapse your lung funny. And like one of them was like, we all know one white boy who's excited about his little treat at the end of the day.
Who doesn't mess around about his tasty treat. Like just
I'm going to go ahead and go on his Twitter and just
let's do that.
Give us some J content. Are you going to drink any of that?
Someone clip that so I can put it on YouTube Shorts.
Are you recording any of this, or does it just go up onto YouTube's database?
It goes up on YouTube, and I can just download it from there.
Great. You have good luck downloading all 3 hours of it just to clip that.
He said, I do not fly like a G6. I am now banned from multiple commercial airlines.
I want him to do the MTA voice.
What's the MTA voice?
Oh, I can't do the MTA voice. The next train, Wonderland. This train, inbound. But that's I'm thinking of Boston, right?
Does the Boston one have a Boston accent?
He said,
it doesn't.
My pastor uncle asked the dinner table who Burlington Throat Factory over airdrop was, and I'm redacting myself. Let's see here.
Just a little splish.
What's the academic jargon required to tell my professor I got a 60% on my final because I was in my flop era? Can you imagine explaining that to someone 40 years ago?
You taking a photo of the viewers?
Yeah.
How do they look?
Oh, I love this camera. Everything just looks so janky. I kind of want to film Lefty, what's his name?
Yeah.
The fake character. That I kind of want to film it all with this.
How big of a memory card can you shove in that before it shits itself?
I got another one from...
Because that was the one that you were messaging about.
Yeah, didn't I get... Yeah, I got a 256 megabyte one, yeah.
Nice.
So, this is probably the big... This is how pilots at cons look at you, yeah.
What is it?
So right now, if I put this on video, I don't know how much
video you get.
I don't know if this means I have 632 seconds of video left or 642 minutes.
That's a lot of minutes.
That's probably seconds.
He did a reply to that tweet, and he said, "Sorry, Delta Airlines scheduled you 2 rooms down from someone who mounted a sex swing to the ceiling with command strips. Would you like a whippet?"
How many command strips do you think it would take to mount a swing to a ceiling?
You'd have to spread it out over the...
Yeah.
Each command strip holds what, like...
5 pounds or something?
Maybe.
But like horizontally,
No, it's fine. I know some twinks that can hold that. It just like... Mom, I'm bringing the twink over. Get the command strips out.
Yeah. I once knew
Grandma,
somebody... I had a friend that went to U of A in Arizona, and her college roommate wall mounted their TV with exclusively command strips. They covered the back of the TV, like the area of the back of the TV on the wall was covered in command strips that they stuck the television to.
Yeah.
It held.
Yeah.
But they bought $40 worth of command strips to put this television on the wall in their dorm because they weren't allowed to drill into the wall.
Well, all right.
All
right. You know, where there's a will, there's a Wegmans. That doesn't make sense.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should or you have to.
We weren't allowed to have... we were allowed in our dorms in Kutztown to have either a microwave or a fridge, but you couldn't have both. If you wanted both, you had to rent the official like little mini fridge microwave combo. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to find a dresser and hollow it out.
Right.
So I had the...
So you hid your fridge inside your dresser?
I forget which I hid.
The fridge.
I think I hid the mini fridge and just had the microwave sitting on top of it. Yeah.
So so bear with me. So what the fuck is the point of having a microwave if you don't have a place to store your food that has to be kept? Like, if your food requires heating up, then that means it also is supposed to be stored cold.
Ramen.
That's what you do with the ramen. You put it back in the microwave and just close it.
Yeah.
Did you actually store food in the microwave too? Like,
my grandmother was like that.
Did you use the microwave? Did you store food in the microwave?
No, because I had the mini fridge head.
My grandmother stored all of her pots and pans and baking sheets in her oven.
I know people who do
On
that.
occasion, she would forget to take them out before preheating the oven to make something. So now you get 20...
All the plastic handles.
So now you get 70 saucepans because she was a hoarder and she never got rid of anything. So when one went bad, she just moved it to the bottom of the pile and put a new one on top. 17 and a half saucepans and 8 baking sheets that are now at 400 degrees that you get to remove from your oven and put somewhere.
Yeah. Man. Hoarding stuff.
I'm all,
Just be advised, Lance, that these microphones hear vertically.
Oh,
So yeah, you just turn that piece of red tape toward you. Did you find the tape? You spin it toward your mouth, and that's where it... Like if you take the mic muff off of here, you see it's more like an old-timey thing.
Oh, I see.
These things are really made to be mounted on a table, on a stand, and you sit in front of them like kept saying Howard Dean. Interviewer last night, Larry King. There we go. Well,
yeah, like the way that one's sitting on the table.
Watch me. Yeah, exactly. That's how these things are supposed to be. But
yeah, talking into the top of them doesn't do shit because that's not where the cardio is.
And that you can take to the bank.
So, a weird little factoid is that I seem like to be this kind of plug for Peugeot 505 headlights, because this is the second time this year that I have found a set of European market headlights for Peugeot 505s, and I've had 2 friends on either ends of the country that have been looking for a set, that I've had other friends on other sides of the country that like found a set in a junkyard. So the first set was my friend Tristan up in New York bought a Peugeot 505, and someone junked in Virginia Beach a 505 with the European headlights, and I had a friend pick up those headlights for me so I could deliver them to my friend Tristan. Well, my friend Darren also has a 505, and he's like, damn, I was looking for a set of those headlights. Well, on this Facebook group called Junkyard Finds, another 505 popped up in a junkyard with the European market headlights in South Carolina. And I messaged my friend Tyler, who lives like right not far, like 15 minutes from where this junkyard is. So this is like the second time I've coordinated like some 505 headlights.
My question is who are the 3 lunatics that imported a Eurospec Peugeot 505?
No. People didn't import the Eurospec ones. It's just the American.
Oh, do you think that these cars that have Euro headlights on them the headlights themselves just came from overseas?
People just bought I think since the...
Because I'm assuming that just the whole car got imported.
No. So American spec headlights for these cars were notoriously bad. So people just imported Euro spec headlights and just went ahead and
just watched the whole lump of mango slide into your face.
It's not time for it to be yum yums yet.
You haven't earned your treat.
So,
I haven't earned my trot yet.
So people, I guess, were importing European spec headlights. People do the same thing for old Mercedes too, because like the American spec headlights are just dog shit. Yeah. So people import they call them E-code headlight or the European market headlights. I've seen people do it for old Mercedes and I guess old Peugeots. So like I said, this is the second set.
Was the beam pattern better or what?
They're this was early 80s, so they're flush glass.
Right, and so we still have sealed dumps.
Peugeot's early 80s Peugeots here had the sealed beam, whereas like Peugeot's over in Europe had the full glass,
Yeah.
So, and apparently my friend Darren literally went to fucking France on vacation, and he tried to find a set of those, couldn't.
Damn.
But he did find a Renault Twingo, which he purchased while on vacation in France.
Yeah, he did. But, like I said, I found a set of those 505 with those headlights in a junkyard in South Carolina. And hopefully I messaged my friend Tyler. I'm like, hey, my friend Darren in Washington is looking for a set of those. So I gave each, their, respectful contact information. I'm just like, here's his Facebook, like message him. And he, if I can coordinate that again, it's like, I guess I'm like the plug for Peugeot parts.
Shit's getting serious. The pop filter just came off the SM57.
Yeah, I want to know if this sounds a little bit better without the pop filter. I mean, there still is a pop filter, but
behind
I wonder if it's
the mic
better.
grill, yeah.
57? No,
58.
Wait, this is a 48. That's right.
Oh, it's a 48. Interesting.
Yeah, the 48 is it's still the same build quality as the 57, but this one is for...
I thought the 57 was like the...
SM58, excuse me.
Yeah, because the 57 is the one that people use to mic like guitar cabs that I see all the time.
Yeah, the SM58 is the stage mic, like the so-called indestructible stage mic. It's the Volvo 240 of stage mics.
Yeah, the 57 is that weird thing.
Yes, that's a presidential one. Yeah.
Yeah. They do a fantastic job of picking up guitar amplifiers for some reason.
Someone said dustbuster parts are hard to find.
And snare drums. Snare drums on a drum kit, people use SM57s a lot.
So someone said dustbuster part, like the GM, like those dustbuster vans.
I forgot about those.
The old Silhouette.
I didn't know that the Silhouette had a crazy interior too. I'd never seen the inside of one until we were in the junkyard the other day.
There's the old Silhouette, the Pontiac Transport, and then there's the Chevy, the Lumina APV.
Pontiac Transport. I wonder how this sounds, me directly speaking into the condenser. Nothing. There, in fact, still is one last piece of foam in here.
There is. There's more foam.
There's more foam.
They wanted to make sure that nobody's air and spit made it through.
No air and spit. 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 No air and spit.
That's saliva, baby.
No air and spit. No air and spit. No air and spit. No air and spit. Spit and air and spit and ear, no air and spit and air and spit.
Air. My God, air. They're putting air in the spit now.
Spit and air and spit and air and spit. No air and spit.
There's air in the spit. There's spit in the air. They're putting spit in the air. They got air in the spit. She spit on my air, so we got spit.
You're so loud. You need to back off that mic.
I'm not going to. They're going to know who's talking. Air and spit. They put air in the spit. She airing on my spit, so we got saliva. Hello. Did you know
spit.
There's air in the
I'm
spit.
gay. I'm gay. I'm gay.
Did you know?
Gay.
Air and spit. Bottom text. 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 Top text. Middle text. Emoji. Crying laughing emoji. Crying laughing emoji. Eggplant emoji. Wet emoji. Emoji movie.
That was a
Hello. Hello. Air and the spit. She put air in my spit.
apologize for everybody at home that had to listen to that. That's what it feels
Let
like
me
to
get
be
a
in
number 9, 2 number 45s, a number 13 with extra dip, and 1 with cheese.
Pretty sure that was leading for some weird 70s music in the 70s.
Yeah. Weird 70s music in the 70s. Yeah. As opposed to weird 70s music in a different decade. Yeah. I could hear myself snort laughing, like it echoing through the...
What was that? I didn't even know what. Clip that one. That's good.
That's another great one. Is that and you blowing bubbles in your...
Yeah.
Clip that one. Yeah.
How about I clip you next?
Man, everybody's watching like Flappy New Year. We should just comment on Flappy New Year right
Yeah?
now. Yeah, I should definitely legitimately close this. You can watch the chat for a minute. Imagine people listening on their car wondering what the hell is going on. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not watching this, even if you are watching it, I apologize. But if you're not watching, good luck, because that sounds like a schizophrenia meth dream.
Yeah, I like the bit. I know this is like a hometown bit, but for anybody who thought this isn't like a state psyop, Sharia law.
My catheter needs to be relubed.
All right, so this is now us watching another podcast. We're watching Flappy New Year 2023 furry charity live stream for Give Kids the World with a goal of raising $15,000. They have currently raised $8,800. They're doing like some sort of draw thing in the background. Can I see the live chat? I'm literally going to start reading somebody else's live chat. Rave the Fulf says Flether Gamble opened 399. So they're drawing commissions right now. They're at a table. There's a bunch of people in shirts, and they're all white. They got some Sharpies there. Is that thing sagging on you?
No, this one's
That thing
actually
sagging off.
No, it's fine. I was just observing it, and I was trying to decide if there's a better angle for it to be at, but there really isn't. It's
Our
okay.
Wolf says, nice work. Komatsu says, I'm innocent, I tells ya. Komatsu91 says, I love how they all say the name like Dinkelberg. Basically, the code is alive. So we're just watching a bunch of people draw things right now. I don't know which is more compelling, that or this. I should really get a martini. It is 8 p.m. You know, the funny thing is, there's like 30 people watching this, and there's 68 people watching people draw stuff, and you can't see what they're drawing. They're just at a table. So I guess, I don't know if they're getting commissions to draw, or one guy's left-handed. They all got facial hair. Most of them have glasses. There's somebody in the background wobbling around. There's a bunch of cups and some water bottles on the table. Are people telling them to draw stuff? Nobody knows.
Is it like a commission on per donation basis?
I have
Maybe?
no idea. I suppose. I mean, they better be like drawing stuff on like commissions or something like that. What?
Live chat said remix Aaron Spit. Not too bad for people who aren't high.
Yeah. I think I'll just. That should be. Yeah, we can get like. Man, I can get two. YouTube shorts out of this. Out
At
of this
least.
stream. I can get Bubbles and I can get Aaron Spit. Aaron Space Museum.
Air and spit. Air and spit.
Yes.
Did you know they put spit in the air?
Ravy the Fulf says, "Do it." He's the only guy I know that I think will respond to like Twitter messages right now. Hey, you're at Flappy New Year right now, and I'm literally live streaming the live stream, and we're commenting on Flappy New Year while it's happening on regular car reviews live stream. I need to make a martini.
You go make a martini. Maybe I'll get another A treat.
Yeah.
Should I try the other one? The other one that you put in the...
Yeah.
The other...
Yeah. You can go do that. I'm just going to stay here. It almost is like we need something else in the background, like another monitor or something like that.
Just so we can put... Just like...
Yeah,
you know
like
I mean?
That's what everybody else on like Twitch stream does. People just send them like YouTube videos and then you watch them. You comment on them. That's what the kids like, right?
I'm not that interesting though. I don't.
That's what you think.
I don't have enough.
You're your
takes.
own biggest critic is the thing.
Yeah, but like I don't have interesting takes on other people's
Dude, there's
YouTube
literally
content.
we literally watched a compilation of some dude farting.
Yo, yeah,
like,
King Ass Ripper.
Like you're like, oh, I'm not that like.
We also watched
exciting.
a compilation of someone pissing on everything.
Exactly.
on the
Yellow
site.
pee-pee monster. Yellow pee-pee monster.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just me watching New Year's One. Am I signed into mine?
People in the chat. What do we?
Oh, there's only
what do we
14
have?
people. Oh, now there's 36 people. Zigzag says I wanted to drink
Leo
so badly.
Leo said, "Get your fursuit out already."
No, man, that's let me have my own life, dude.
Yeah.
Who else is taking a shit right now? Says someone that is hot. That even though I hide it, I can still see it. All right, so I'm gonna make myself a martini, and when I get back, you can go more a treat.
Sounds like a plan.
Internet is dumb. Thank you for coming to New Year's. Otherwise, I'd just be editing stuff and masturbating. Oh, speaking of which,
There's air and spit in both of those.
air and spit.
Air and spit. Jerking off. Air and spit.
and spit.
I'm jerking off with air and spit. They call me an
and
airbender. I am spit bending. Actually,
sons and daughters,
you know what?
We'll make our homes on the water.
You ever consider?
We'll build our walls, aluminum. We'll fill our mouths with cinnamon. Now you know how to sing it around. You don't know that song.
No.
I know how to sing it around, but I don't know that song.
You don't know that song. When we arrive, sons and daughters, we'll make our homes on the water.
Yep.
We'll build our walls. I can't hold a tune. I'm a drummer. We'll build our walls, and I'm not friggin' Dave Grohl, who can do every single instrument.
Yeah, what's with him?
Giving head is just spit bending.
Is that working for you?
The song is called "Sons and Daughters" by the Decemberists. You don't know the Decemberists. You don't like listening to songs about Zeppelins.
I don't usually listen to songs about Zeppelins, no.
Man,
The
Crane
Zeppelin
life.
music.
Thanks for having a new
By
stream.
land, by sea,
I'm stuck
by
at home
dirigible,
alone, sick.
we'll make our tracks untraceable.
You know, Davey Rando, last year I was also
Alright,
stuck at
martini
home
time.
with COVID because my sister gave me COVID while we were all of us were at home in Arizona for Christmas.
You know,
And I flew home on New Year's Eve and tested positive for COVID New Year's Day. And that was a blast. That was the most fun 2 weeks sleeping that I've ever had.
some people have gotten worse from their sisters. You ever consider that? My sister gave
Stop.
me a child. No. Sounds like someone hasn't been reading enough Karl Marx. I literally own a Karl Marx book.
I got off early at the dealership. What dealership? And why are you getting off there?
Dealerships will have every excuse to be open, like, around a holiday. It's like, they're like, oh my god, like, special event. That means people have to be buying cars.
We weren't even open today. We my work straight up said no, because normally Saturdays like shortened hours. But today they just said no. At least, well, not in parts and service. I'm sure sales was open because sales is open 24/7.
Yeah, those sales guys will bend over backwards for a sale, my guy.
All the elderly ladies with their Sonatas can wait until Monday.
I need a cabin air filter for my Sonata. My grandson says it smells funny in the car. But I know he's been doing those silly drugs.
Did I ever tell? I don't think that happens out here.
What?
Do cars, if you run them on like recirc for too long, do they smell mildewy inside in the summer? So it happens, it happens super frequently in Arizona. But like newer cars that people exclusively run, like because in Arizona you run the air conditioning all year round, and if you run it on recirc constantly, the AC vents get condensation in them, and then if you never run fresh air through it, it just gets mildewy, and then your air smells like mildew.
Too much vermouth.
No such thing.
Are you talking about spit in air?
Yeah, we're talking about nature, Mother Nature's spit naturally in our air, gathering in the AC system. It's like in the South when you run AC all year long, in Arizona specifically.
Yeah.
Your AC always smells mildewy after like a while if you don't run the fresh air often enough because it gets like shit all up in the vents.
Some dude said, my sister just took me for a rip in her new 2023 Tahoe. It's huge compared to my grandparents' 01. Well, I have to admit, your grandparents have a better car because the GMT 800 is a big hossmobile. It's a hossmobile. The GMT 800s will outlive me.
Yes, your 23 Tahoe is huge because we now have cars that are chock full of airbags and driver aids for people who can't drive. Cars were better back in the good old days.
When you could die.
Yeah, when you crashed your car and you died.
You died.
You were a lot better.
So guess what you did? You didn't crash the car.
My Mustang makes up for my lack of personality.
Me with BMWs. You do not need to be that close to the mic.
That's what you think.
People.
My Mustang has the J.C. Whitney catalog.
Headphone users can hear the back of your
The
tongue.
headphone
We're on a compressor. He's fine.
Oh, is he all right? Fine.
The headphone users
we
probably
would
don't even know
definitely
what a
peak,
J.C.
but-
Whitney catalog is.
Actually, I'm watching the VU meters over there. They're getting up into the red.
Yeah, your mic never gets it that far up there, but when he
These
swallows,
are stage mics, only made to be. These are made to be on a stage,
Yeah.
made to be sung in. These are way more sensitive. So actually, where you are is fine. But
yeah, I spent my entire senior year of high school and the year following with one of those mics, the two fingers from my mouth, because I was in this is the gayest thing I'll ever say in my life. But I was in a 16-piece a cappella jazz choir my senior year in high school, which then followed the year afterwards.
So what makes it jazz?
We sang jazz. We sang jazz music.
Dick.
I had scat solos, and not in the way
Scat solos?
Right? Yeah, not
Excuse
that
me?
kind of scat, like the jazz scat. Not to be.
Is that what you
confused
shit in a
with-
tuba?
Nope. Tubas are not involved in jazz.
That's what
I've
you
never
think,
seen someone
baby.
play a tuba in jazz.
Are you that? You know what? That's disrespectful.
800s do not rust that bad if you aren't a piece of
Oh,
shit and you know how to wash your
Yeah,
car.
800s rust bad? Oh, no, they don't.
May I
800s,
introduce you-
800s rust like nothing compared to GMT 900s, dude.
900s rust bad. Also, may I introduce you to Toyota in
Frames.
ever.
Yeah.
Toyota, throughout the entire history of Toyota making trucks, have had rust problems.
Yep.
Yeah.
The entire underside and frame of my 4Runner is now POR 15.
Fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
My friend Gino, who lives in Illinois, who has the same 4Runner as yours, but his is green. His car, the spare tire is rusted to the bottom of the.
Yeah.
He can't get it out.
Nope.
Like it's attached to the car now.
Yeah, that sucks.
I
Someone
didn't
said
know that things
tubas
rusted.
should be involved in jazz. I agree.
We should not. I don't think the tuba needs to be part
also,
of jazz.
like,
I don't
it's-
think jazz.
people should not shit on the GMT 800 because literally, especially around here, the GMT 800 trucks have outlasted the GMT 900s. You will see more 800s out here than 900s. It's just true.
Yeah, because when I go on Marketplace and I look for a Tahoe because I'm interested in a GMT 800 Tahoe, every single one, there's 1.5 billion GMT 900s for sale with the entire rocker missing. Like just not there. It's creeping up into the doors. It's all the bumpers, the bottom of the lift gate. The bottom of the lift gate's gone, rotted plumb through.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is GMT 900s. I don't know what'll kill it first, the DOD or the rust.
Yeah, well, so DOD takes it out the first time around, and then you get that fixed, and then rust the second time, and then your 6L80 will go, and then the DOD kills the motor again.
So someone said 01 to 07 Caravans rust like nothing you've ever seen.
True.
I had an 03. It was decently rusty, but they're super reliable.
Are they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Are they reliable, or are they just cockroaches?
You don't see a ton of them anymore.
No, you don't. And if you do, the person driving it is a problem.
The person
driving a third-gen Caravan plays Keno all day, smokes Black and Milds, goes to Giant Eagle and buys store-brand stuff. A person driving a third-gen Dodge Caravan also shops at Giant Eagle because they believe that savings they get with their giant club card at the pump at the gas station is totally worth it.
Yeah.
They got to buy their weekly lottery ticket because if you don't play, you don't win.
Mm-hmm. But they've never won. They've been playing for 60 years.
Well, I know a guy, like they'll match like one letter and then they won like $800 one time. Because they matched one or two. Like
I hit big one time. The time I hit big.
Yeah, hit big for $800. Went to Best Buy and just bought the biggest TV they could. So now they can watch
Jeopardy or something like that.
Yeah, it's like they'll have a.
I'm watching Deal or No Deal reruns.
What were those old? I don't think anybody can run CRTs. No, nobody can run CRTs. There's digital conversion boxes for a while. Do you remember those things? Like when like everybody like, they tell me I need to buy one of them computer TVs.
Mm-hmm.
But then like Comcast would have that little box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now when you change channel, it doesn't change the channel. It's got to wait 2 or 3 seconds. I don't need to bring up that menu. I know what's on channel 48. That's the weather.
God.
Sounds like my grandmother.
Yeah, it does sound like your grandmother.
Because there's it's crazy to believe, but there's a lot of people out there who like stopped believing in technology 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Like my grandmother, she's like, an iPad's too confusing. I keep forgetting my email. You know what I mean? Just the dumbest shit.
Ooh.
Yeah, totally.
My grandmother literally has 2 TVs because she thinks that like, I don't think Netflix will work on my regular TV with cable. Like, I don't think it'll work. So she has 2 different TVs and because she has like a little room in the back, which she calls her TV room, which she just watches cable, and then she has like a den with a TV that has like Netflix and it's connected. And she thinks, I just don't know. It seems too complicated to try to get either or to work, so I just have 2 TVs, and I'm just not gonna try to explain it to her because she won't listen anyway.
Does she have 2 refrigerators?
No.
I feel like she'd be the type of woman to have a fridge in her garage. She doesn't have one down
She doesn't
there?
have a deep freeze.
Interesting.
Okay.
No, she lives alone. She does not need a deep freeze.
Well, yeah, my grandmother lived alone, but she had 3 refrigerators full of things for when, I don't know, she was always ready for the Third World War to come.
Yeah.
Oh, one of those old
Well, my
people.
grandmother
No.
like was born in the Depression. So like that's what she had to
what's
run
weird?
off.
Like, people have the fridge in the garage.
That's a
And
Midwest
it's all
thing.
long-term. Yeah.
I grew up with a fridge in the garage, but it was a family of 7, so it was like
Yeah.
That's the fridge for the Keystone Light.
We did have 3. We had one in the garage, we had one in the kitchen, and then in our laundry room we had a deep freezer, like a meat freezer,
and
a mini fridge that was for drinks.
Nice.
So yeah, it was. But our house was the party house. Like we were the one. Like it's high school, we had like elementary school through high school. We were the house that like everyone had birthday parties at, and so it's like I don't know. My mom was just built to entertain.
See, there's a super chat.
Yeah.
Boilio?
Boilo?
Boilio?
Boilo?
Mr. Regular, I am making Boilo. Yes.
What's Boilo?
Oh shit, motherfucker!
Would you like to tell me?
Boilo?
Oh shit! Yeah, it's wintertime. We got to make Boilo at either this or the Larkin House or something. We got to make Boilo.
Okay.
Boilo?
What's Boilo?
Boilo. Definitely make maybe for Jake's graduation party.
Yeah.
Now
So,
you're like
shitty alcoholers thing?
okay.
Boilo.
So you know what a hot toddy is?
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What you do is you get a whole bunch of stuff, and we'll talk about what the stuff is in a minute. You get a whole bunch of stuff, you put it in a gigantic pot on the stove, and you reduce it. You just boil it all together and make like some...
Oh, so this is like, it seems like a jungle juice for white woman.
Well, I mean, more like old crusty miners, because, okay,
Yeah.
here's what goes in it. I don't know what the garnish is for.
I don't know.
You don't need garnish in a thing.
Why does it look like old piss?
Yeah, it's going to look like old piss depending on what you put in it. Okay, so you start with, here is my recipe for boil. 1 pound of honey. Pound
That's
of
gotta be
honey.
expensive.
Well, yeah, it's just like the big jar of, right from the bee's anus, right into the...
I'm shitting honey.
Yeah. You need honey, like some oranges, maybe a lemon, cinnamon sticks, raisins you can do, and then there's a bunch of other spices that I forget. You can tell it's been a while. And you get this whole slurry of a mess in a pot, boil it all together, get it nice and reduced, and then you got to strain all the chunky bits out of it. So you have a nice, very herbal, medicinal stuff in there. In fact, the one coffee shop in town sells all the spice packs for it.
Okay.
You just add the other stuff. To that, you will then add, and this is you're making a lot of it, like a half gallon of orange juice and maybe an entire 2-liter bottle of ginger ale.
Okay.
So you get this, well, a very sort of earthy lawn and garden jungle juice.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's nice and cool, once it stops boiling, comes back down to room temperature, then you, if you can have it, entire bottle of Everclear.
Okay.
If you don't have that, you can do the Nikolai 180 vodka. And if you don't have that, traditionally it's whole bottle of Four Queens whiskey.
Okay.
Stir that up.
So what's your preference when it comes to either the vodka or whiskey?
I have to piss.
Have fun.
It's time to piss.
I'm the wake wee see for you to look at my wee see. See? So, I prefer, like my favorite tasting one was made with grain alcohol.
Okay.
That my buddy Tom made once. He was able to get some grain alcohol. Made it, and of course, you have to reduce the amount of grain alcohol you're putting in, obviously.
Right.
Or else it's just going to be way too strong and way too bitey.
Uh-huh.
It's supposed to be strong. It's supposed to, it's one of these drinks, you'll get like a rocks glass or something, and you only pour like maybe at most an inch into it. Then you put it in the microwave to warm it back up again, and then you take a sniff, and it's woo! And then you just sip it a little bit.
Right. Is this a slow drink?
Oh, it's a slow drink. It's one of these things like old miners would drink it as like, oh, this will clear the ash out of your lungs and stuff like that.
Seems like something definitely good for winter.
Oh, it is so good for winter. I've never seen places sell it.
Right.
Like around here, like you would think in the brick house.
Is this a regional thing?
Very regional.
Okay. Because this sounds like nothing I've ever heard of before.
Yeah. I'm going on Wikipedia. Preparation. In a large pot over medium heat, mix the water with honey. This one says water. This is Wikipedia says water. Stir in to combine. Stir in orange and lemon quarters, raisins, cinnamon sticks, caraway seeds, allspice, berries, cloves. Bring the mixture to a boil. Reduce to heat. Simmer and cook, stirring occasionally for 30 minutes. Remove from heat. Strain the liquid into a large pot. Allow to cool for a few minutes. Slowly pour in the grain alcohol into the honey mixture and store to combine. Pour into bottles, cap and refrigerate until use. Serve gently warmed.
Okay. That didn't mention orange juice.
No, it didn't. The traditional
Or
base
ginger ale.
ingredient Boilo is moonshine. Many recipes, homemade use of blended whiskey or grain alcohol, can be made. Also may be made in a stovetop or slow cooker. Some recipes specificity say 4 Queens, blended whiskey, original bottled in Philadelphia by Castor Liquids, later served some. There are many Boilo taste tests annually in the coal region of Pennsylvania, where we are right now, where home brewers compete whose recipe is most authentic and whose Boilo is the most easy drinking. Commercial products.
No.
In 2016, Jabberwocky Candles of Frackville, Pennsylvania, released a Boilo scented candle. December 2012, Brokeley's LLC of Ringtown, Pennsylvania, introduced an instant version of the drink that is available commercially. Weird. I don't know, but that's supposed
like
to be.
I
suppose
pour a pouch of it into your vodka. And
yeah, like some Crystal Light sort of thing you pour.
Right.
Springate Vineyard Brewery introduced a commercial version in 2020 that was based on something that's not okay. Springate Vineyard. Interesting. Ray, the person who is at Flappy New Year is running the board right now. I just talked to them on Telegram. Says they're going to break into Kaiju Clash next. That's where they get a bunch of cardboard boxes. And anybody who has a macro fetish, they all like get in fursuits and they wrestle and they knock over boxes that are painted to look like buildings.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
I wonder how long we'll keep this podcast up. It's almost like adult get ready for bedtime.
Oh yeah, no, it's like my like I think I told you last time we were here. Or was I working yet the last time we were here?
You were here in the middle of the day.
Yeah, so it must have been like the first week I was in town, huh?
Yeah.
So since then I've started work with my dealership and I am training on the warehouse schedule. Mm-hmm. So we get our order of parts from Hyundai. They drop it off at around 10 to 11 p.m. at my dealership. Mm-hmm. The delivery drivers come and pick up the parts for the next day run between 6 to 7 a.m. before the dealer opens. So myself and the other warehouse guy show up at 4:30 in the morning to check in all the parts and get everything set out for the drivers. The good part is that I get to leave at 2. So I'm off work with like daylight to still function and like run errands.
Yeah.
But what actually happens, because I live at Larkin and I can't like go to sleep at a reasonable time, is that I get off work at 2 and I fall asleep until 5, where I wake up and eat dinner and then like shower and go back to bed.
Wow.
So I'm on a really weird schedule. But last week I finally figured it out. Like I went to bed at 8 o'clock. And then I woke up at 3 and I like felt decent. And I was like, oh, it's like, this is good. But then I passed out again at 8 o'clock the next day.
Yeah.
So,
and you guys are
this
sleeping
is
in
like,
the basement,
it's 8:30. Right? So this is about like my brain's, we're winding down of like that. I'm tired now.
Okay. and you're sleeping in the basement?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, at least it's dark.
Yeah.
In the day.
Yeah, which like it doesn't. I mean, like when I come home at 2 o'clock and I'll just sit on the couch because he'll be watching The Sopranos or something, so I'll just sit next to him on the couch and fall asleep.
Nice.
For an hour or so. Then I'll wake up and go, what do you want for dinner? And then we sit around and stare at each other for an hour and a half while we think about dinner, and then it's like, I guess we'll go get food. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I won't be on that schedule permanently, but we're waiting. So essentially, I'm an addition to the team. Mm-hmm. They've always had 7 people working there. They've never had an 8th person. So it's not like I'm I'm not filling a hole. I'm just adding on. So they don't like have a place in their warehouse for me to work to do like sales, which is what I'm supposed to do, like parts sales. But there's a guy who's probably going to retire within the next month. So
you're supposed to be on sales, but you're doing hourly work.
Yeah. But I'm still making commission. So I'm the highest paid warehouse person.
So I don't understand. If you're not doing commission sales, how are you making commission?
Because it's not my commission that I get paid on. I get paid a percentage of the department gross.
Okay.
So my sales don't really matter. Like it's like I won't have a bad month because I didn't make a bunch of sales.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Respect.
Because it's so challenging, like being that all of us do the retail counter, all of us do shop tickets, like for cars that are in the shop. All of us do wholesale stuff. We answer wholesale calls, do online orders. So like, it's not, and you know, some days it'll be one person just happens to be sitting at their desk when every online order comes in, and it wouldn't like be fair to everybody that like that's the one that they get, or if somebody's off, like if like Tom is the guy who works the shop counter, if Tom's off and I'm stuck on the shop counter all day, I'm not making shit for commission on wholesale stuff, and so it's just parts departments are frequently like this. The last several dealerships I've worked at have been like this in parts, where it's like you make a shit salary and then most of your income is a percentage of department gross commission.
And that pays out at the end of the month?
Yes. So like it's like 10 days into the next month. So like in a couple weeks I'll get my first commission check for the month of December.
And it's a separate check from your Yeah, because
I get a weekly every Thursday. I get my weekly salary check, and then it's like on the 10th I get paid my commission check.
Nice.
If you give me that clear, John. Let me see, what's this about?
Nothing like going to take a piss and then realizing you also have to shit.
I figured that's why you disappeared for a while.
Yep. Let's try it.
We're talking about how it's like feels like adult bedtime now.
First time trying
It smells
birch beer.
It smells
Old.
Beer.
Doesn't it smell old?
It smells like a Lifesaver.
Okay.
Like a wintergreen Lifesaver, the green ones.
Okay.
It was my dad's replacement for smoking. So he
Was
carried around a
wintergreen
pack
lights-
of wintergreen Lifesavers, just all like they're in the center console of his car at all times.
Did he chew them or just suck on
He
them?
just sucked on them.
Okay.
I mean, you suck on them until they get too small to suck on, and then you just chew it.
Okay. Did that
Yeah.
work to help him like with the non-smoking
He didn't
thing?
smoke anymore.
Oh,
So.
that's good.
Yeah, that's exactly what it smells like.
He's smelling it. He's tasting it. Taste.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I like
wow.
that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I like that.
Alrighty.
Wow.
It tastes like what I thought it was going to taste like too.
I want to go back in time and just birch beer.
Go back in time, Brian. Take
I
a
want to
sniff.
go back to taste time of the pizza party.
Which is crazy because it's like birch beer to me is like a very acquired taste.
Oh, I love
yeah.
it. But I hate actual beer. This is the I don't.
There's
don't
no
really enjoy,
beer in that.
I know. I
Hell
don't
yeah.
enjoy like real beer, but
Oh,
birch
that
beer
is
good.
that is the taste of 1994.
Right?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, that just tastes old.
It
You know
tastes
what I mean?
good.
Oh, it
It's
tastes
exactly what I
great.
want.
I mean, it does taste. It tastes like how an Atari 2600 looks.
Yes.
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 It's got that
It
same,
tastes like wood paneling.
like I'm serious. Like
Yeah.
wintergreen Lifesaver is like the flavor I'm getting from this.
I love it.
I'm not mad about it though.
Well, also, I think because it's the white birch beer,
Yeah.
it's less syrupy and less heavy.
Yeah.
Like
I also
the
drink
regular
soda
one?
because I don't drink soda ever.
Oh, well, how much sugar really is in this thing?
How much sugar?
What's your
Yes.
guess?
How much
How
sugar?
many grams
Yes.
do you think?
48 grams.
Ugh, keep going.
61.
You're so close.
Oh, we're in the 60s. Yeah, what is it?
66.
Oh wow, 66 grams of sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I'm happy with my sip.
Yeah, you can have your little sippy sip.
Ugh.
I don't. Yeah, that's a lot. Even compared to this one, the grapefruit one. The grapefruit one was. And I like if anybody watching me is judging me right now for having finished this and opening another one. I literally never drink soda, so this one has 27 grams in it.
Yeah.
This one's 66. I don't know how they managed to shove that much in here.
66? This only has 29.
I know.
What the fuck? What happened?
Well, I think that means that they're real recipes in there for as fake as they are. It's not just the same soda base and then just different flavoring. In it.
19, one dude said my 1994 tastes like Zima with a Jolly Rancher thrown in.
Nice.
Remember when they brought Zima back for a little bit?
No.
They brought Zima back
Really?
like a few years ago for like a year or something like that. I remember they brought it back and my mom was freaking out.
Oh, holy
Like
shit.
she would go to like the...
Yeah, A Treat Beverage Company, bottled under the authority of A Treat Beverage Company, Orfield, Pennsylvania.
Nice.
Christ.
It's like eye-watering levels.
Yeah, this
of
doesn't
Lifesaver.
leave like Eastern PA, except for like I've found this at like 2 stores in Jersey. That's it.
Nice.
But other than that, it doesn't. This does not leave PA.
All right.
Yeah, it's fine. I just kicked. I thought I was going to land on the cushy part.
Frontier with a generous donation. $2 Canadian. Thank you. Third 10.3% IPA for Beer Tuber Hangout. Happy New Year. Thank you. Happy New Year. Gadget 37 says it also turned the turntable mat to slimy goo. Ugh. Eye-watering levels. We're talking about wintergreen.
I tried reviving a turntable mat with wintergreen oil. My workshop smelled like Lifesavers for weeks from a few drops that got on the floor.
When he says turntable mat, are he's talking about like a
Like the
record
rubber
player?
mat that goes on a record player?
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. No bushings everywhere. Something. Oh, adult time, go to bed. I'm gonna take one pillow, put it between my legs, take another one, hug it, and a third one for my head. I'll pretend you are here.
That's how I slept for the last
Yeah.
several years.
What do you mean, like
Pillow
just like a
between the leg, hugging a pillow, one under my head.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people sleep like that because you just
Keeps my spine aligned with my
Hell yes.
Yeah, it's real good for my back being in a straight line.
Well, I also like doing that so I'm not like sleeping directly on my arm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sucks.
Because that's what you do like half the time. Like you fall into this position on your right side where your arms are both like this, just like right next to me, like up in my back, and it's like you just look like a little cockroach after you sprayed it with Raid.
Nah.
I swear to God, the passenger seat in your car like fucked up my back.
Yeah, because it's the first time you've had to like sit up straight in a decade, and it's
your seat's in a very awkward position.
It's
just getting in
at
your
a very
car is
comfortable
weird.
position for me, which is what happened.
That
because
stuff behind you on next to the Bruce Hens garage,
lidocaine.
That is lidocaine. When you're all done with your Icy Hot and your Bengay, you go straight to that shit right there.
Yeah, when Bengay and Icy Hot isn't doing it for you anymore.
Yeah, lidocaine. Like I like that just says what it is. I've seen that
relieving
stuff go by stuff like Uber Numb. Like that stuff is great.
Yeah, that's called the turn it off for the nerves.
Yeah, it isn't even. You don't even feel it. Was the point? It's not like Icy Hot or something or Muscle Rub where you smell like an old folks home and like ooh it gets hot for a bit and then you don't feel anything. No, that is just deadness.
Yeah,
and it's awesome. I lower back, sometimes shoulder, because I'm sitting on that other chair over there editing all the time. And there's also the TENS machine. Have you ever used a TENS machine?
I have used a TENS.
Hell yeah. Have you ever used a TENS machine?
I've used a TENS machine.
He's going to use a TENS machine right now.
I've used a TENS machine for both the intended
TENS
and
machine.
unintended purposes.
Whoa. Did you bust?
Use your imagination.
Did you bust?
He bust.
Did you bust?
Finna bust. Finna bust.
Ask Todd.
TENS machine. Hey yo, when they come out with that 20s machine,
I'm regretting sending the link to this podcast to my mom because she watched the last one.
TENS.
So
TENS.
Oh, you're good. Didn't
This
even move
looks
that.
diabolical, if you ask me. TENS 7000.
Yeah.
Oh, one of them.
Oh, you know what this is?
Oh my god, the one where it just like stimulates your shit.
Oh, you've already used them then.
Yeah, I don't
okay.
know. TENS
You
machine.
used it on your back.
Yeah, I
Just
haven't
like
used.
you use
I
it for
haven't
your back?
used it on my balls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't used it on my balls either.
I put Icy Hot on my balls just to feel something.
But I will say that they make
E-stem. Oh yeah.
attachments.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make attachments
Fucking
that go on the end
E-stem.
of those that aren't the sticky pads, but they are adjustable clamps. And you can adjust how tight they clamp.
Adam's like, y'all playing with y'all worms till midnight.
Thank you, Adam.
Who up being silly with they worm? I'm posting worm on main. Who up being silly? Who being silly with Dave?
Adam, y'all playing with your worms till midnight? Probably not, because if we stay up that late, I will fall asleep in this chair, and you guys can watch me take a nap.
Yeah.
On the live stream.
We're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. Popped in your stream for a bit. Have a good stream. Says Rave. Yeah. 38 real worm playing hours.
Yeah. Eastham is
I'll probably edit audio for a little bit, clean up, and then just get ready for auditing Eddie. Maybe I'll get rid. Maybe I can actually audio edit tonight after you guys go home, and then tomorrow all I got to do is do the old taxes, Nettie.
Yeah, is tomorrow's you're getting that shit out of the way early this year. I respect that.
Yeah, I mean, still, I got to hand it to my accountant.
Right.
But, like, get the final numbers.
Yeah.
Factor in the car that I bought, the car that I sold, and some other big ticket item and figure out where Karen's going to put it.
Seems like a blast. I don't even enjoy doing taxes for myself, and I'm somebody that doesn't make a lot of money or spend any money or own a business.
Well, I don't do the filing. I don't do the crazy W whatever. I just
pay somebody to do that?
Oh, hell yeah.
Great.
No, I do my books. It's just profit and loss. Here's all my receipts. Here's everything I spent money on this month. I do it.
I don't have the. I'm sure I could figure it out if I needed to.
It's not that difficult. But you just want receipts.
I can't keep track of my receipts to save my life.
Oh, okay. Well, here's what you do.
It's just tax deductions.
The mouthful of mango.
Yeah.
Have they thawed yet?
Yeah, it's just tax deduction.
What you do is you get a big envelope in a box, and every time you swipe the card, you have to get the receipt.
Right.
And then you take the receipt, I will put it in a box.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
Do you have enough mango in your mouth?
And then, once you have everything in the box, you let on the whole lot of stuff in the box.
Last comment.
And then you take the box and you add everything up. And then you have a number. And then you pick the number. And then you add the low number. And then you subtract it from the amount of money you made that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your monthly books. And I got my monthly books.
Yeah. Literally, all it is that you like all of like.
It's second grade addition and subtraction.
It's really easy. That's like my stepdad does the same thing. Anything you spend money, it's like receipt. It's like for tax deduction. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The hardest thing is walking over to my folder over there on my filing cabinet, saying, "Okay, it's been a week. Take all your receipts out of the bag, plop them on the table, write down the number on every single one of them." Now, I do it nice, how I do them all in order, like chronological order. Like, here's the order of stuff I spent money on. And then it all gets a category.
Food, hospitality.
Yeah.
Gas.
Yeah.
What if it's for stuff you didn't swipe your card with, you just paid like on an app or something like that? You screenshot it or something?
You can make a receipt.
You can screenshot it. Sometimes, I mean, I have an office printer over there. So if I have something that I paid on an iPad and then it just emails you the receipt.
You just screenshot the email.
Well, I print the motherfucker out. But yeah, you can screenshot it. It's fine. You only really need the receipts if you get audited. Now,
how long do you have to save your receipts?
7 years.
I know 7 years is the magic number for that, but like, do you have to save? Like, do you personally save your stuff for that?
Yeah,
long?
I have every receipt I've had since 2016.
Christ.
And I have 3-ring binders, and they're out in the kitchen, and it's just each instance. That's the wrong word. Each like 10 or 11 day period has its own little clear plastic binder. That way, if I need to go back, and sometimes I've had to go back and find out something, but 9 times out of 10, I have to remember what motherfucking part number I bought of a part, and I need another one of it.
Yeah.
I have to go back a year. It's like, what was that motherfucking thing that I bought?
Yeah.
And that I can't remember and I can't figure out on like Summit Racing or something like that. So, yeah.
Great thing living in the DFW area was having a Summit Racing in town.
Oh, that is awesome.
Fantastic.
Sure. You order it, and the part flies out of your ass.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I mean, it was at the other end of town. Like, it was straight up at, like, it was in Arlington, like South Arlington, which is on the other side of Fort Worth, and I lived in East Dallas, so it's still like an hour drive. However, still being able to get it that day, lifesaver.
Because you had to pick up gear oil or something?
I did, yeah, because like I said, the day before I drove out here, my trans, like, fell apart. And I had to run to Summit is the only place that sells like Redline transmission fluid on the shelf or gear oil. And the like Redline ATF works really well in these old BMW Getrag manual transmissions.
Yeah.
And so I just literally
ATF in a manual transmission.
Yeah, ZF like BMW ZF gearboxes and the Getrag gearboxes like really enjoy ATF. It makes the synchros happy and they don't shift all shitty. I need to replace the fluid in mine, which reminds me I need to fire up a Summit order. Because I put fresh fluid in mine when I put the output seal back on and then proceeded to burn the fluid in the transmission, towing a trailer behind the BMW all the way across the country.
Where's the nearest Summit to here? Like Summit,
Ohio.
Yeah, not close.
Where in Ohio? Like
I forget.
There's only 2 places in Ohio. There's like shit part of Ohio and then like the less shit part of Ohio.
Why can't they have one like in like Maryland or New Jersey?
I remember
or like
stuff from Summit sometimes will get here like in 2 days.
Yeah.
Like it's respect.
And
it's
like
really
I know
fast.
I can order Redline on Amazon too, but like I hate giving Amazon my money, so I just like I try not to if I can avoid it.
Well, I think that's a podcast.
You think so?
Yep.
I think so.
All right. So, thank you to everybody who tuned in. Happy New Year. Let's see. Thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon. You're allowing regular car reviews to exist as a much larger channel than it really is. Thank you for all the super chats. We will spend your money very wisely. Every dollar we get is spent right there on the channel. Thank you to everybody who watches every Monday morning. You're helping us have a job. And thank you to everybody who participates in the car giveaways. You are funding RCR's travel budget, RCR Australia in 2024, and also Operation Crazy Taxi. That's going to be a fun one. Hope to see you out there on the road. I want to be available at events, whether it will be a official RCR car meet or at some sort of event, and I'll say I'll be there. Nick and I will be there, or it'll be Brian and friends or something like that. That will happen. Brian just touched his ear as he said that, having a tell that it may not happen. That was the whole no guarantees. Who knows what 2023 holds. So, my name is Brian.
My name's Curtis.
I'm Lance.
Lance, thank you to everybody for watching, and Happy New Year. Time to get out of the chair and get over here. I'm going to go put it on you. Stop streaming.